What a huge difference.
Yes.
Hmm.
He um he does a version of this where he sings it in different languges.
Yes, I think we
Yeah, I
played
think
that
we
at
played
some
it once
point.
before, yeah. So I couldn't find it. But it just makes I want to sing standards more. I think I need to get a book and I think I need to just learn them. I do.
I agree.
It's
I've been
time.
wanting to do that too. Just not sing, but play more.
So learn
um,
them and I'll learn them. You can record it. I can we
yeah,
could just make it work. I mean, people
yep,
do it all the time.
yep.
I'll
And
get my piano tuned, but I have a keyboard I can start off with and just do it. We can make a list of songs.
yeah, and I have to say, and we were kind of talking a little bit about it before we got on. Having these 2 days off, and this is something I've complained about for a long time. You know, and let's get deep for a little
No, let's get
while.
deep.
So I was talking with my friend Jen, who's the pastor in Pennsylvania. Um,
Who I still want to talk to again. I think I met
well,
her once.
yeah, I think you did too.
Great.
Um, so we'll get that arranged. Maybe we can get her on the show at some point to
That'd
talk.
be fun.
But anyway, we were talking about me and what I'm going through now, which is kind of a weird, nothing bad, but it's I doing the things at work. It's I'm not happy, but I'm not unhappy, but I wouldn't say that I'm content either. And then the other thing is, I'm struggling with death recently, which is weird because no one's died. But I think about like all my dogs are the same age, like they're
Okay.
within a year of each other. They're all going to go at the same time.
Okay.
My mom's getting up there in age. Been a while since I've had a death, that's affected me. So I know that that's coming. So I was talking to Jen, and you know, thinking about maybe getting into studying religions and that sort of thing to kind of work through that.
Sure.
Um, and then just thinking about like having the time off, and this has been going through my mind too. It's like you know, I get home from work and it's like I feel like the day's been wasted, and there's so much that I want to do. I want to be practicing the trumpet. I want to practice the French horn. I want to practice the piano. I want to be doing all these other things, and it's like I get home from work and I'm just like I don't want to do a darn thing, you know.
Right. Because work
And
becomes a draining situation.
exactly, exactly. So
I actually completely feel that part of it. I totally get that. Like,
and like having those 2 days off, it's like, I went back and it was like full throttle. Like, we had a company come in. We've been working on this project for the last several months. I wasn't even supposed to be working on the project. They basically told me, listen, you don't have time to do this project, and I still got pulled into it. But it's like, I had to have all this stuff ready for them by the time they came on Tuesday, and it was a lot of work. And I got home Tuesday night. It's our D&D night, and I fell asleep last night. I missed D&D night because I just fell asleep. I was just exhausted.
well,
So
because at the same time, I mean, partially you got up crazy early on Monday because we had to get to the airport.
yeah,
I
but
know
I mean,
that,
I came home and I slept, and you know,
but
then I
the
mowed the
side of
lawn,
that
and
is you had what you say? You mowed the lawn,
I mowed the lawn afterwards, and only
but
half the
like
backyard because it was too wet to do the very very back. But anyway,
you don't take off.
I don't. In
So for
fact,
the
in
first time in how long, you actually had 4 days where
yep,
you weren't really doing anything more than actually the stuff that we enjoy doing,
right,
which was
right. In
music,
fact, this was the first
podcast,
time that I've at this job that I've taken 2 days off in a row.
and,
In two
and
years, I've taken 8 days off.
and your body adjusts to that, which is
Yep.
why I told you you need to use your days. Not
Mm-hmm.
even if it's just to take a day and don't do anything,
Mm-hmm.
but you need to take a day for your body to breathe.
Right, but the problem is when I take those days, when I come back, it's like I realize, that all the stuff that it's when I work straight through, I don't realize what I'm missing. You know what I mean? So by continuing to work, I'm less depressed when I go to work, if that makes
Well,
sense.
because you're preoccupied.
Exactly.
You don't have time to think about everything else going on.
Right.
You're preoccupied, so your brain or your mind or your body, whatever you want to call it, is completely focused at the task in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Partially because you don't even have you have a new coworker,
Yep.
so you don't even have someone that you can connect with
Right.
on that level either, because
Mm-hmm.
the guy that you did connect with is gone,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going on in front of you.
Yeah.
It's a tough thing, but like that's why you need the day. I understand though taking a day. Like I'm contemplating taking a day off next week because my son's off for the week, and I figured I could take a day and spend time. But I'm like, I need to figure out how to compensate for not being there for that day.
Right.
Like I'm gonna have to stay late one day just to make sure I'm good to go if I take that
Mm-hmm.
day off. It's a tough balance. It's a very very tough balance.
Yep.
And so I totally feel you on that whole entire end of it. I'm the whole death thing I kind of went through a couple times, so
Mm-hmm.
I kind of understand that. Like you, yeah, no, I totally get that. It's a
Yeah.
tough one too.
Yep.
But
So on that depressing note,
no,
April in
but thank you for
Paris.
sharing that. Hey, listen, everybody's got stuff that they got to process and go through, and sometimes
Yep.
putting it out in front, no matter whether it's live on Twitch or just to somebody else, it helps
That's right. Yep.
your brain kind of go, okay. And I'm sure, and this goes back, the book that we're reading or we have read, the music lesson,
Mm-hmm.
brings this back out
Right.
because it's a lot of him dealing with his own
Right.
mental health, his
Mm-hmm.
his his loss. I will share something that I wrote when I was on the plane. I miss music.
Yep.
I feel like music and I have broken up,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that I'm trying to reestablish this relationship with music, but I feel guilty and I'm afraid that I'm going to hurt music again.
Right.
And I'm afraid that I'm going to get back into it. And I'm going to do all these things, and then I'm going to have to step away, and I'm going to hurt music's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do that, and it's
Right.
putting me on this really weird like balance of how much effort do I put into the music, or do I not put that much into all? And I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about like physically playing, physically singing,
Mm-hmm.
physically doing things that are musically related
Right.
that I feel guilty doing because what if I have to step away from it?
Right.
Am I go and music has been the one constant in my whole entire life. Everything
Mm-hmm.
from when I was a child through all the stuff that I went through, music has been the one constant that I can always go back to.
Right.
Yeah. So I get it.
Yep.
This is the book. The book kind of puts a lot of things in perspective, which is kind of weird to think based
Mm-hmm.
upon the fact that it is written for music purposes.
Right.
A little, a
And
little
that,
heartfelt Wednesday.
yeah, yeah, and on top of all that, like I'm used to having some sort of a musical outlet,
Right.
performing wise. I don't have that right now,
Right. Yep.
and it's like, I, it's like so not having that drive to practice anything or know even where to start. It's
Right.
like, I don't know.
No, I
So,
get it. I got it.
all right, let's stop being depressing and let's listen to some April in Paris.
April